Did you know that Nikola Tesla, the genius who electrified our world, might have had friends in very high places? And I don't mean powerful investors. I'm talking about friends from the stars. Now, before you click away, hear me out. Tesla wasn't just an inventor. He was a visionary, a man who seemed to pluck ideas from the very fabric of the cosmos. He gave us alternating current radio remote control, technologies that were light years ahead of his time. But where did these revolutionary concepts come from? While his contemporaries were busy improving the candle, Tesla was dreaming of wireless energy for the entire planet. Tesla himself often spoke in mysterious terms about the source of his inspiration. He described experiencing vivid flashes of light, visions of inventions fully formed in his mind, complete with dimensions and details, before he ever drew a single schematic. He once famously said his brain was merely a receiver for the core of the universe, and that his ideas came from a source beyond Earth. Was this just poetic language from a brilliant mind? Or was he hinting at something more profound? This is where the story takes a fascinating turn. Many researchers and enthusiasts who have pored over Tesla's diaries, letters, and interviews believe he wasn't just speaking metaphorically. They suggest that Tesla might have been in communication, perhaps even telepathically, with extraterrestrial intelligences. It sounds like science fiction, but let's look at the evidence and the context. Consider his work at Colorado Springs in 1899. Using his massive magnifying transmitter, a gigantic Tesla coil, he was conducting experiments into wireless power transmission. During these experiments, he began picking up strange rhythmic signals. They were unlike anything he had ever encountered before, not natural phenomena like lightning, which he knew intimately. Tesla was convinced these signals were structured, intelligent. In a letter, he wrote about the feeble impulses he detected, speculating that he might have been listening to one planet greeting another. He specifically mentioned the possibility that these signals originated from Venus or Mars. At the time, the scientific community largely dismissed his claims. They attributed the signals to atmospheric noise or misunderstood natural occurrences. But Tesla stood by his findings. He believed he had made the single greatest discovery in human history, proof that we are not alone in the universe. He spent the rest of his life trying to build better and more powerful receivers to enhance this communication. This belief wasn't just a passing fancy, it deeply influenced his worldview. Tesla saw humanity as part of a larger cosmic family. His dream of providing free wireless energy to the world wasn't just about technological progress. It was about elevating humanity to a new level of existence, one where we could potentially join a galactic community. He believed that if he could perfect his communication technology, he could receive invaluable knowledge from these advanced civilizations. Knowledge about energy, physics, and the very nature of the universe. Think about it. A man who could visualize entire machines in his head, who claimed his ideas came from an external source, and who then detected what he believed were intelligent signals from space using a device of his own invention. Coincidence or a connection? Some theorists point to the sheer leap in his technological concepts as evidence. Ideas like particle beam weapons, which he called teleforce or the death ray, and his theories on tapping into the radiant energy of the cosmos seem almost too advanced for the early 20th century. Were these ideas whispered to him across the vastness of space? Now, of course, there's no definitive physical proof. We don't have a signed treaty between Tesla and a Martian. Skeptics rightly point out that our understanding of cosmic radio waves and atmospheric phenomena was in its infancy back then. The signals Tesla detected could have been pulsars, which weren't discovered until decades later, or any number of other natural radio sources from space. His claims of telepathic contact are, by their nature, impossible to verify. But the story doesn't end with skepticism. The enduring power of this idea, of Tesla as a cosmic conduit, speaks volumes. It captures the essence of who he was, a man who lived on the very edge of possibility, constantly pushing the boundaries of what was known. He wasn't afraid to think big, to dream of interplanetary communication, while others were still figuring out the telephone. Whether you believe he was in contact with aliens or simply possessed an imagination of cosmic proportions, the result is the same. Tesla's mind was a gateway to the future. He saw the universe not as an empty void, but as a place teeming with energy, information, and potential. His friendship with the stars, real or imagined, was the driving force behind his quest to uplift all of humanity. He was trying to give us the keys to the universe, keys he believed were being offered from a friendly, distant hand. What do you think? Was Tesla just a brilliant eccentric, or was he Earth's first ambassador to the cosmos? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. It's a mystery that continues to inspire and intrigue us, reminding us that sometimes the greatest truths can be found by looking up at the stars. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the mind of a master. If you enjoyed this exploration, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into history as most fascinating mysteries. See you next time. Have you ever wondered if someone from the past could see our world today? What if I told you one man did over a century ago? His name was Nikola Tesla, and he didn't just invent things. He dreamed up the future we're living in right now. In a time of gas lamps and horse-drawn carriages, Tesla envisioned a world connected wirelessly, with devices that would fit in our pockets. Sounds familiar, right? He was talking about smartphones, the internet, and Wi-Fi long before the words even existed. How did he do it? That's the mystery we're unraveling today. Tesla wasn't just an inventor, he was a visionary. He saw electricity not just as a tool, but as the lifeblood of a new kind of civilization. While his rival, Thomas Edison, was focused on the practical applications of direct current, lighting up one city block at a time, Tesla was thinking on a global scale. He imagined a network that would blanket the entire planet, transmitting not just power, but information. Let's rewind to the early 1900s. In an interview, Tesla described a world system of wireless communication. He spoke of a device no bigger than a watch that would allow anyone to receive messages and information from anywhere on Earth. Think about that. He was describing a smartphone. He said we would be able to see and hear events like a presidential inauguration or a World Series game as if we were there in real time. That's live streaming. He even predicted that these personal devices would allow us to send pictures, text, and music across the globe. He was laying out the blueprint for the internet and social media before the first computer was even built. So, where did these incredible ideas come from? Was it just genius-level guesswork? Not exactly. Tesla's power of prediction came from his unique way of thinking. He was a master of visualization. He claimed he could build, test, and even break his inventions entirely in his mind, perfecting them before ever touching a single tool. He would run mental simulations, seeing every gear, every wire, every spark. This allowed him to leapfrog over the tedious trial and error process that bogged down other inventors. While they were building physical prototypes, Tesla was building futures in his imagination. This mental workshop wasn't just for inventing, it was for exploring possibilities. He understood the fundamental principles of physics, electromagnetism, frequency, resonance, so deeply that he could follow their logical conclusions to incredible ends. He saw that if you could transmit power through a wire, you could also transmit it through the air, through the Earth itself. From there, it wasn't a huge leap for him to imagine transmitting information the same way. The principles were the same. He was thinking in terms of systems and networks, not just single gadgets. And it wasn't just smartphones and the internet. Tesla also talked about tele-automatics, the concept of remote control. He built and demonstrated a radio-controlled boat in 1898, shocking onlookers at Madison Square Garden. He told the stunned audience that this was just the beginning. He envisioned a future where vehicles or automatons could be operated without a human pilot. He was, in effect, predicting modern drones, remote-controlled military vehicles, and even the basic principles behind self-driving cars. He saw a future where human labor would be replaced by intelligent machines guided from afar. Think about the world he was living in. The very idea of an object moving without a person directly controlling it seemed like magic or trickery. Yet, Tesla saw it as a simple, logical application of wireless technology. He wasn't just creating a toy boat, he was demonstrating a fundamental shift in how humanity could interact with the world. he was showing them the first drone over 100 years early. Another one of his startling predictions was about energy. Tesla was obsessed with providing free, clean energy to the world. His Wardenclyffe Tower project was the grandest expression of this dream. While it was designed for wireless communication, he also believed it could transmit electrical power through the air, tapping into the Earth's natural resonant frequency. He envisioned a future where planes would be powered by wireless energy beams from the ground, no fuel needed. He talked about harnessing the power of the environment, a concept we now call renewable energy. While his grand vision for wireless power never came to be, his core idea of a world powered by clean, abundant sources is more relevant today than ever as we grapple with climate change. So how did he see all this? The key lies in his first principles thinking. Instead of just improving what already existed, like making a better candle, he went back to the fundamental laws of nature. He asked, what is possible with electromagnetism? And not, how can I make a better telegraph? This approach allowed him to see beyond the limitations of his time. He wasn't just innovating, he was dreaming with the rules of physics. He saw the ultimate potential of the forces he was working with. This is why Tesla's legacy is so much more than just his inventions, like the AC motor that powers our world. His true legacy is his way of thinking. He taught us to look at the world not just for what it is, but for what it could be. He showed us that the future isn't something that just happens to us. It's something we can imagine and then build. He was an architect of tomorrow, drawing up the plans decades before the builders were even born. When you hold your smartphone today, streaming a video or messaging a friend across the planet, take a moment to think of Nikola Tesla. You are holding a piece of his dream in your hands. He saw this future in his mind's eye, a world connected by invisible waves, powered by a force he dedicated his life to understanding. He might have died with many of his grandest dreams unfulfilled, but he left behind a blueprint for the 21st century. His story is a powerful reminder that the greatest leaps forward begin with a single, daring question. What if? Tesla's life was one big what if. What if we could send voices through the air? What if we could power the world without wires? What if machines could operate themselves? By daring to ask these questions, he unlocked a vision of the future that was so accurate, it continues to astound us to this day. He was a man who truly lived in the future, and we are just now catching up. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the mind of a genius. If you found this fascinating, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more stories about the architects of our world, and share your thoughts in the comments below. What Tesla prediction do you find the most mind-blowing? Let me know. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring.